Gee, I think, oh God, I'll have to edit this on YouTube because quite frankly, I'm not used to doing this. I have an Apple and I just discovered after 4 years that I can do a video on my Apple iMac. Anyway, I am up to my eyeballs with all this legal research and human rights on property ownership and the loss of property ownership. And I don't want to talk about that right now. I really want to try and stay focused. I am terribly upset to see beautiful people that I absolutely adore. I can't mention names, but sometimes, you know, I walk into a dance and I'm just starting to get the nerve damage from my tumor under control after 3 years of crippling paralysis, along with all the other stuff I'm going through. And I still haven't cleared out, and I'm still not fitted, and I'm still basically homeless. I'm sleeping at Dan's, but I'm still not fully moved in because there's just no room for me. Poor bugger, he's having to throw out an awful lot of his stuff to fit me in. But hey, I'm not sleep. It's okay, I'm not in a park bench, but I want to focus on weight. And what I'm talking about is food addiction. Okay, people who are committing suicide with food addiction. And I'm talking about people who are beautiful people with a beautiful spirit and a beautiful soul. And for some reason, they just don't love themselves. They were obviously abused as children, or something went wrong in their life and the abuse took them down. And I call it having a nervous breakdown, because basically it is just so suicidal. And there are healthy alternatives, people. There are healthy alternatives. You don't have to eat white sugar. You can switch to 100% pure maple syrup and honey, and it won't do you the damage. And your body metabolizes it as a food, not as a poison. And I don't know how to get this across to people. And I have a lot of it on my websites. And I don't have the time to promote the websites, and I don't have enough people promoting the websites. I mean, I spent 66 years in research, and my research is free, nonprofit, self-supporting. I'm quickly going bankrupt, but that's okay. That's who I am. I fight for rights. But these beautiful souls are killing themselves. And like I say, I can't mention names, but really, there are healthy alternatives. And if you go to my websites, they're all written down there for you. The first one, I mean, I'll type it out, is www.okra-diet-for-all, and the other one is www.okra-dietdetox.com. And the healthy alternatives are right there. It's not that tough. Instead of white pasta, you go to whole wheat, or you go to whole grain, or you get a spaghetti squash that looks like a pasta and treat it like a pasta, but it's really a vegetable, and it's, you know, and whatever the carbs are in it is perfectly healthy. And you know, complex carbohydrates is what you're after, and I know most of you don't understand what that means, but it means that your body and your stomach and your digestive system will metabolize it very, 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 very slowly, whereas with sugar, it's zap, it goes into you like that, into your bloodstream, and you know, you're headed for diabetes. And for God's sakes, don't go stapling your stomach. That's just not working. You have to train yourself. And I don't care if you just stuff yourself. Listen, I make a salad that is like enough to feed 6 people. And I sit there and it takes me an hour to eat it. And I watch television in bed, which they say is bad. But, you know, I'm averaging 130 pounds and I'm 5'6". I used to be 5'7", but now I'm 5'6". I'm 76, right? So my body has shrunk, you know, my bones have shrunk down a little bit. But yeah, there's healthy alternatives, people. You know, you don't have to be killing yourself and weighing 300 pounds and 50 and 100 pounds overweight. You can stuff yourself with healthy alternatives. And I know what it is to be in suicidal despair and depression. I mean, I live with that my whole life. I hate this planet. I think the human species are psychotic at the best of times. And most of my life has been a Holocaust. It's horrible. And it's never okay. I live with a terrible handicap because I was poisoned at the age of 6. And I've spent 70 years living with dying and fighting for survival so that at least I leave something behind me for the next generation that's better. I don't think much of this life, quite frankly. Basically because I think humans are really disgusting on the whole. They're not very good. They're greedy and they don't care and they're a bunch of lemmings. They just follow and they fall off a cliff. I mean, look at the Kardashians and all of these people and these celebrities, and they could be doing something so positive with their time on this earth and all that money that they're making. I mean, Kylie Cripes, she just made, I don't know, $400,000 in 3 hours on selling shit cosmetics. I mean, it's just so inappropriate. But, and social media is being gobbled up by these people. And the real issues aren't getting any support. They're not getting any following. So it's not saying much about us as a species, is it? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, please, I'm telling you, I have very dear people that I truly love, and I know they're overweight and they are food addicts. That's what it is. They're food addicts, and they simply have to switch to alternatives, healthy alternatives, and please download my website and share it with anybody that's overweight. We've got to stop this. I mean, dieting is a bad word, but I can't think of any other way to tell you about it. You don't have to starve. You don't have to staple your stomach. You just have to switch from bad carbs to good carbs. And another really good way is follow the metabolic breakdown diet, okay, which is, I don't have to do it anymore, but I did it for decades, and I had to put my mother on it, and it kept her alive for 11 years. And you eat, the basic program is you take fruit in the morning, which I have to do at night because nothing about me is normal. And if I eat anything in the daytime or in the morning, I get terribly sick, and I feel like I'm going to throw up, and I'm just wrecked for hours. So, yeah, you have to go with your body and what works for you. But you separate your food groups, and you eat about 6 times a day. You eat your fruits separate, eat your veggies separate, eat your salad separate, eat your protein separate, and eat your carbohydrates separate. And you got to try to have them 3 hours apart because it takes 2.5 hours to digest properly through your stomach and your intestinal tract. And you really have to get on yogurt or kefir. And if you're lactose intolerant and you're scared of it, well, then get on something safe like goat's yogurt. Sheep yogurt, sheep's milk, goat's milk, kefir, because the healthy bacteria in there, the second brain is your gut, and you've got to do that. You've got to learn to do that. And okay, some of them have sugar in it, and if it's the only one you can tolerate to eat, well, then go for it. It's better than nothing. But like I say, there are ways, and by all means, please contact me. I'm happy to hear from you people, and I'll do what I can to help you. And you have to allow me a week or two to get back to you sometimes, because I am up to my eyeballs, A, with my own handicap and disease, Parkinsonism, and B, the lawsuit. It's just gobbling up all my time, not to mention all my money. Thank God I have savings, because I've been saving for 16 years to be able to do this. And one last word I'm going to say. Doug McIsaac, you evil monster, and the Mormon Church, you should throw him out on his ass. He fraudulently tricked me, robbed me of my home and my land and over $300,000. He's a pig. Anyway, yeah, that makes me feel better. See? Instead of killing myself, that's what I do. Get yell, scream, do whatever you have to do. But for God's sakes, just because somebody is rotten to you and cruel to you, that's no reason to kill yourself. Find a positive way. Help others who are like you. There's other ways of dealing with killing yourself. Yeah. I mean, sure, I don't like the planet, I don't like my life, but I find a positive way of dealing with it. God bless everybody, and I'm sorry this is so long, but these people are dying, and I just don't know what to do about it, and I can't stand it. I love you guys. I know you're fat, but you're beautiful in your soul, and you're beautiful in your spirit, and you've got everything going for you that's really meaningful on this planet. And I don't know how else I can tell you. I love you, and please, I'm begging you, go and switch to healthy alternatives and find a way to fight back. God bless you, and love fat people. Don't die, please. Get healthy.